Marco.
Sean, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, not to you.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy birthday to
Happy
ITSPmagazine, a black
true.
cat.
I know, 11 years old this year.
Can you
we
believe
crossed
it?
over 10 years into 11.
I
feel
cannot
old.
believe that.
I feel old.
You feel old? No, ITSP Magazine can't even drive a car yet. It's not that old.
Well, we are going to be driving to Las Vegas from LA.
Yeah, and this is one of our classic beginning of a coverage, which, again, I think people know by now is a traditional coverage for us, Black Hat, Las Vegas. We're going to drive through the desert, and I'm sure we're going to stop somewhere and do a little recording. We'll see how we feel when it's going to get hot on the way there from Los Angeles.
Look for Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
And the Roadrunner. Well, it's exciting, Sean. This is the really good year. I think it's back to a lot of people going to conferences, full speed all over the world for us. We just came back from London not too long ago, so I'm excited. Well, most of all, I'm excited to have Edward with us.
I know. Edward, good to see you.
Thank you, guys.
It's good to have you on, and we're excited to not just chat today, but also see the Dropzone AI team in Las Vegas for all the fun stuff you're going to be doing, which we'll touch on today. Before we get into who Dropzone AI is and everything you got going on, maybe a few words about who Edward is and your role at the company and what you work on there.
Yeah. So my name is Edward. I am the founder and CEO of Dropzone AI. We are a Seattle-based cybersecurity startup that's leveraging large language models to build essentially AI security analysts. Before founding Dropzone, I worked at ExtraHop Networks for 8 years, where I built its AI ML and detection product from scratch. So practically spent 8 years generating millions of security alerts and overwhelmed a good number of security teams. And during that process, really came to the realization that most security teams do not need yet another alert cannon, but instead they need a lot more help on the processing of the security alerts. So that's exactly why I decided to switch sides and started Dropzone, that is solely focused on the automation of the alert investigations.
Super cool. Actually, I wrote an article on this topic a couple weeks ago, looking at Agentic AI and using AI as I call them the first responders of triage. And I mean, there's so many activities that technology can do, automation can do, orchestration can do to alleviate the low-hanging fruit, if you will, for the alerts and incidents. Can you give us an overview of what Dropzone AI does and kind of the impact it can have on a SOC and then the larger security program?
Yeah, absolutely. So the technology we built at Dropzone is essentially an AI security analyst. So you can think of it as a piece of software where it takes your security alerts as input. And then for each alert it receives, it will first coalesce and deduplicate the alert. After that, it will autonomously perform an end-to-end investigation by pivoting across different security tools, security data sources, threat intelligence in your environment, and at the end, reach a definitive determination on whether the alert is a true positive or false positive. The system can automatically dismiss the alert if it is a false positive, and then it can also automatically contain and escalate an alert if it turns out to be a true positive. The idea is with our technology, we can allow security teams to operate as if they have an army of AI bots looking at every single alert. So the human analysts and engineers get to focus on only the real threats as well as other critical projects. I like how you mentioned, like, a lot of times we as cyber defenders gets kind of distracted by all the reactive activities, like chasing after alerts. And what we have seen is with our technology, it really allow security teams to experience a step function in terms of the efficiency of their SOC program as well as effectiveness. What I mean by efficiency is with our technology, their existing team can do a whole lot more with the same resources and headcount because they no longer need to reactively chase after all the alerts, and they get to spend less time chasing after false positives and spend more time working on proactive security projects, such as deploying additional network sensors, re-architecting the system so the business does not have 500 publicly accessible RDP servers on the internet.
So I'm curious because a lot of time there is this happiness about AI because it can help a lot in cybersecurity and healthcare, many other industry, honestly. But there's also the fear that it's going to take some actions when you allow it that maybe it's better to be left to the humans. So what is the agentic version and approach that Dropzone have on it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, frankly, there are a lot of over marketing right now within the application of AI agents, practically in every single industry, white collar vertical. And that's no different in security. We have seen vendors announcing autonomous SOC. See notions that with AI agents, you don't need any human in a SOC. From what we have seen is similar to how we as workers run the subconscious calculation between delegation versus the risk of unintended consequences, right? I think all of us sometimes think about, hey, I have this project. If I do it myself, I know exactly what I will do, and there shouldn't be any unintended consequences. But if I delegate this project to a contractor, to an intern, or to another team member, yes, it will save me time, but the probability of unintended consequences will increase. Specifically for AI SOC analysts, what we have seen is vast majority of the security teams are not comfortable with the AI agent autonomously running around in the environment, responding to threats. What we have seen is most organizations are comfortable with AI agents performing the investigation, producing the conclusion, and then having the human engineers and analysts to review it before any containment action or corrective actions are taken. So it's like in production, what we have seen is most people still expect a human in the loop or like a tier 2 or tier 3 analyst reviewing the findings before determining, okay, we need to reset the credential of this potential account, or we need to quarantine this particular host from the network.
I think the easy button it's not there, and maybe it's a good thing that it's never going to be there, to be honest.
Yeah, but I will say it is it is going to be an evolution, because we have seen cases where certain organizations, for example, they might have a small team, and during weekends and evenings, for certain types of security alerts, and that involve certain types of asset, the cost of potential collateral damage might actually be lower than the cost of letting the attacker run free for additional 30 minutes or an hour, where the on-call person, is like waking up in the middle of the night. So in selective cases of alert types and entity criticality, we have seen customers giving authorization to technologies like us saying, over the weekend, this type of alert, this type of asset, go quarantine it, you have my authorization, because the potential business risk outweighs the potential cost of collateral damage during those unique situations.
Yeah, my head's spinning a million miles a minute here. I was on your website looking at there's an ROI calculator there, and it's tailored to the time savings and the investment that one would make in an analyst compared to using what you do, and then that's kind of like, to me, that's the core of the saving, and then it just umbrellas out from there, or spirals out from there. And I'm going to tease everybody to stay tuned for our next conversation from Black Hat, where I'm going to dig into that a little bit more with you. But speaking of Black Hat, let's take the next few minutes to talk about what you'll be up to in Las Vegas at Black Hat, and I know you're going to be at BSides. Who are you going to speak to? What are you going to share with them? What are you going to show them? Give us a little rundown of what's going on that week in summer camp.
Yeah, absolutely. The week of Black Hat will be very exciting for us. We have a number of activities. We will be at BSides, Las Vegas, in the first half of the week. After that, we will be at Black Hat AI Summit on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we will be at Black Hat Startup City. Our booth number is 6427. And I look forward to chatting with folks, showing them what our technology could do, and also like getting the word out with regards to how to actually leverage Agentic AI in production within the security context.
And Black Hat's a cool event to showcase what you do. I mean, you're targeting an audience that is very much attending the Black Hat, and certainly the DEF CON conferences and BSides as well, right? A lot of analysts, engineers. Of course, it all leads back to the business. We know a lot of security leaders and business leaders are there that week as well, and which touches the bottom line and the top line, right? When we start talking about saving money in the SOC, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I want to pick the... No, go ahead, Edward. Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing like we have seen is some say, kind of nowadays, folks are scared of AI agents because they are afraid of AI agents taking away their jobs. From my perspective, I would say the AI agents will substitute a lot of jobs in most white-collar verticals. But I do think cybersecurity is in a unique space where there is this unique kind of opportunity to have a win-win situation, because the need for cybersecurity expertise and capacity is so significant. And this is where we have actually run into a large chunk of practitioners who not only are not afraid of AI agents, taking away their jobs, they are actually actively embracing and, learning about how AI agents can actually make their jobs more interesting and more fun, right? Instead of being reactive, chasing after security alerts, like they can get to focus on other higher intellectually exciting projects. I think at the end of the day, nobody on the planet enjoys being a tier 1 security analyst for eternity. And I think with technology like ours, we can make sure that nobody actually works as a tier 1 security analyst anymore out of a necessity. They might still need to do it, for training purposes and stuff like that. But yeah, we're very excited to share how our technology, not only makes the security program more effective and efficient, but also ultimately up-level the job happiness, satisfaction, excitement of being in cybersecurity.
Yeah, and I think, as you mentioned, the space is very unique. And I think automation has been, in a way or in another, AI or not AI, it's always been the objective of many solutions that people have been looking for, and company like yours has been developing. So I want to end this conversation with kind of looking into what you expect, the kind of conversation that you think you will have And again, I'm not going to make you responsible if you're not right, but I have a feeling you kind of know what's going to be going on, like kind of like the buzzwords and the question that you may end up with AI not being the future anymore. Well, one day we will have it, but actually something concrete. So what's your prediction on those?
Yeah, I definitely anticipate a lot of conversations, prospects and security teams understanding like how does this even work in our environment, right? I think it's one thing to market there's an AI agent, but having an AI agent that's actually deployed in a messy real world security stack is a different story. So I think there's some a component of that. Another component will be folks looking for validation. Right? I think there's no doubt. I think everybody agrees AI agent is going to be a critical part of the future of cybersecurity. But there are questions like, is this technology actually ready for production today versus 6 months down the road, maybe RSAC next year or Black Hat next year? So I know a lot of security folks, practitioners, leaders have questions on like, where is the bleeding edge, and is this technology actually production ready today?
And is there kind of looking to the conversations you have with prospects and clients today and things you've heard over the years as you were building out Dropzone AI, is there, I know it's probably hard to do this, like a common or a similar trigger or signal within the SOC that says we're ripe for some automation, we're ripe for what you deliver in terms of an agent to help take on some of the analyst tasks?
Yeah. I think a couple common trigger is if you're expanding your SOC and you are considering hiring additional folks, especially maybe across different continents because you want to get to like 24/7 coverage and stuff like that. I think considering AI SOC analysts or AI agents will be a good, it will be a good timing. And you see this across other industries as well. Like I'm sure you guys have heard, CEOs of certain companies saying, "Hey, before any manager opens a new headcount, you need to justify to me why software cannot do it." So to some extent, I think anybody who is actively hiring additional junior tier 1 security analysts within the SOC should really seriously consider AI agents. I think that's one. Another one will be if you're a SOC and you are, for example, maybe unsatisfied by the service provider you are currently outsourcing some of the work to. That's kind of another good trigger point, because instead of finding another outsourced service provider, software might be able to kind of be a better alternative for your specific needs.
Perfect.
Well, yeah, it is perfect, and it will be even more perfect when we get to talk to you again in a few weeks, a few days actually at this point in Las Vegas. We will be there. We're going to be covering as much as we can. Of course, we will come and visit you and chat at the booth. Again, booth is 6427. We also in the notes for this podcast.
Startup City. Yep.
Yeah, Startup City. And, there'll be the trainings, there'll be the briefings and the business halls and all the goodies and all the other events around Black Hat because, we used to call it, Sean, what was it? Hacker Summer Camp? Do they still call it that, or is it just the old people like you and me?
Still Hacker Summer Camp.
All right. Okay.
I didn't
good.
coin it. I don't keep it going. It is what it is. But Edward, I'm thrilled we had a chance to chat with you today. I think those couple scenarios you presented to see how Dropzone AI can help organizations become more effective and efficient in their SOC using AI agents is good. I'm sure there are many, many more. And as people are listening to this, they're probably thinking of their own scenarios where an AI agent can help take on some of the tasks my analysts are bombarded with and not very happy about. So if that's the case, take a moment, go to Startup City, booth 6427, connect with Edward and the team, check out what Dropzone AI is doing, and catch them at BSides as well as the AI Summit at Black Hat as well. Thanks, Edward. Thanks, everybody, for listening and watching. We hope you enjoy this Chats on the Road to Las Vegas, Black Hat USA 2025. We will see you all very soon. And stay tuned, subscribe, share with your friends, and see you in Vegas.